Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. The baseball world feels like it just tilted on its axis, and everyone watching can feel that electricity in the air because the rumors swirling right now is nothing short of seismic. The idea that Mike Trout, a name synonymous with loyalty, consistency, and quiet dominance, could be putting his signature on a Yankees contract as fans rubbing their eyes in disbelief. This is not being treated like a standard move or a routine free agency whisper. This feels like one of those moments where history is being rewritten in real time, at least in the collective imagination of fans. The Yankees, a franchise built on star power and legacy, suddenly being linked to Trout sends shockwaves through every corner of the league. People are imagining him in pinstripes, stepping into that iconic stadium, carrying the weight of expectations and the roar of a crowd that demands greatness every single night. This rumor feeds directly into the mythology of baseball, where superstars eventually collide with legendary franchises. Even skeptics admit that the sheer plausibility of it makes hearts race. It feels like a move that would redefine rivalries, reshape playoff races, and dominate conversation everywhere. Whether it becomes reality or remains fantasy, the mere possibility has already ignited the sport in a way few rumors ever managed to do. What makes this speculation even more explosive is Mike Trout's reputation as the face of modern baseball, a player admired not just for his talent, but for his professionalism and quiet approach to stardom. For years, he has been associated with stability, with the idea that some stars simply stay put and become legends in one uniform. Now imagine that narrative being flipped on its head, replaced by the image of Trout joining the most scrutinized franchise in sports. The Yankees are not just a team, they're a spotlight, a pressure cooker, a constant headline. The thought of Trout willingly stepping into that environment sparks endless debate. Some say it would unlock a new level of his competitive fire. Others wonder how his calm personality would mesh with the relentless media attention. Fans speculate about leadership, about how his presence could instantly elevate everyone around him. The locker room dynamics, the marketing explosion, the jersey sales, everything feels larger than life. Even opposing fans are caught between dread and fascination, knowing that a Trout in pinstripes could shift the balance of power dramatically. This rumor is not just about a contract. It is about identity, ambition, and the kind of legacy a player chooses to chase. Another layer fueling this wildfire of speculation is the Yankees' long-standing philosophy of chasing transcendent talent whenever the opportunity appears. Historically, they are the franchise that swings big, that sees a generational player and decides that cost and controversy are secondary to impact. Linking that mindset with a player like Trout feels almost inevitable in hindsight, even if it still sounds outrageous. The rumor suggests back-channel conversations, quiet meetings, and a sense that both sides see something powerful in the partnership. Supporters of the idea point to the Yankees' desire to reclaim unquestioned dominance, while critics argue that such a move would be too disruptive. Yet disruption is often the catalyst for unforgettable eras. Imagining Trout patrolling the outfield in New York colors instantly changes how people talk about the American League. Rivals would have to rethink strategies, rotations, and even long-term plans. The conversation extends beyond baseball tactics into culture and symbolism. This would be a statement move, a declaration that the Yankees are willing to reshape the league's narrative again. Even if unconfirmed, the rumor feels believable because it aligns so perfectly with the franchise's DNA. From a fan perspective, the emotional reactions are all over the map, and that chaos is part of what makes this rumor so compelling. Yankees fans are dreaming big, picturing highlight reels and iconic moments that would instantly become part of franchise lore. They talk about banners, legendary catches, and clutch performances that would echo for generations. On the other side, longtime Trout supporters feel a mix of betrayal and understanding, recognizing that athletes also chase challenges and legacy. Neutral fans are simply enjoying the drama, watching baseball become the center of pop culture conversation once again. Social feeds are buzzing with mock-ups, debates, and hypothetical lineups that feel almost too powerful to be real. Analysts speculate about chemistry, about whether this move would inspire or intimidate younger players. The rumor has created a shared experience, a collective pause where everyone asks the same question: what if? In that sense, the story has already succeeded because it has reminded people why they love sports rumors in the first place. They spark imagination, argument, and hope, even before a single pitch is thrown. There's also a deeper narrative at play here, one about timing and ambition. Mike Trout has already secured his place among the greats, yet whispers suggest a hunger for something more, something that transcends individual accolades. Joining the Yankees would symbolize a pursuit of the grandest stage, the kind where every moment is magnified. The franchise offers an opportunity to chase ultimate validation in the eyes of history-obsessed fans. Critics question whether such a move would feel authentic or if it would be perceived as an easy path. Supporters counter that nothing about playing in New York is easy, that the pressure alone filters out the unprepared. This tension adds richness to the rumor, turning it into a debate about values and courage. It is no longer just about a uniform change, but about how greatness is defined. Does legacy come from loyalty or from embracing the toughest challenges available? The possibility of Trout choosing the Yankees forces everyone to confront their own definitions of sporting heroism, and that is why the conversation refuses to die down. As this rumor continues to circulate, it feels like a slow burn rather than a flash. Each new mention reignites discussion. Each speculative comment adds another layer of intrigue. The league itself seems to be holding its breath, knowing that a move of this magnitude would ripple outward in unpredictable ways. Even teams far removed from New York would feel the consequences as strategies and expectations shift overnight. The idea of Trout in pinstripes has become a symbol of baseball's enduring ability to surprise, even in an era dominated by analytics and predictability. Whether this remains an elaborate rumor or becomes a stunning reality, it has already achieved something remarkable. It has united fans in conversation, reignited passion, and reminded everyone that the sport's greatest stories often begin as whispers. In that sense, the explosion has already happened, and the echo will linger regardless of what comes next. Now let's talk about what this rumor would actually mean if it crossed the line from speculation into reality, because the implications are massive and layered. A Mike Trout signing with the Yankees would not just be a roster upgrade. It would be a cultural event. The franchise thrives on moments that define eras, and this would instantly become one of those turning points people reference forever. Imagine the narrative shift overnight, with every broadcast opening on the same image of Trout in pinstripes. Every discussion framed around how the Yankees managed to pull off the unthinkable. The attention would be relentless, the expectations sky high. For Trout, this would mean stepping into a world where every at-bat is dissected, every slump amplified, and every success celebrated like a holiday. Some argue that this environment could push him to even greater heights, sharpening his focus and competitive edge. Others worry about the toll, about whether constant scrutiny could overshadow his joy for the game. This duality is what makes the rumor so fascinating. It is not a simple upgrade. It is a transformation, one that would redefine how both player and franchise are perceived. From a strategic standpoint, the Yankees adding a player of Trout's caliber would send shockwaves through the league's power structure. Opponents would be forced to adapt, to rethink pitching rotations and defensive alignments specifically to counter his presence. The psychological impact alone would be significant, with teams entering series already feeling the weight of facing a lineup anchored by such a complete player. Internally, the Yankees clubhouse would undergo a subtle but profound shift. Leadership dynamics would evolve, with Trout's quiet authority blending with the existing voices. Young players would suddenly find themselves sharing space with a living legend, absorbing habits and expectations that could accelerate their development. The ripple effects would extend beyond the field, influencing ticket demand, merchandise, and the overall aura surrounding the team. Baseball thrives on stars, and this would be a reminder that individual brilliance can still reshape collective destiny. Even critics would have to admit that such a move would inject fresh energy into the sports narrative, making every Yankees game feel like a must-watch event. There's also the question of rivalry, and how this move would pour fuel on already intense fires. The Yankees are defined by their adversaries, and adding Trout would instantly raise the stakes in every marquee matchup. Fans of rival teams would circle games on the calendar with a mix of dread and anticipation. The storylines would write themselves, with commentators framing each confrontation as a test of legitimacy and pride. For Trout, these rivalries would offer a new dimension to his career, exposing him to atmospheres charged with emotion and hostility. Some players thrive in that chaos, feeding off boos and pressure. The rumor invites endless debate about how Trout would respond, whether he would relish the villain role in opposing stadiums or maintain his trademark composure. Either way, the drama would be undeniable. Baseball, at its core, is a storytelling sport, and this move would create chapters filled with tension, redemption, and spectacle. The league would benefit from the heightened attention, as casual fans tune in just to witness the unfolding saga. Financially and symbolically, this rumored signing would also send a message about the Yankees' intent to dominate perception as much as performance. While exact details remain shrouded in speculation, the assumption is that such a move would represent a monumental commitment. Beyond money, it would signal confidence, ambition, and a refusal to settle for incremental improvement. Critics might accuse the franchise of buying success, while supporters would argue that investing in greatness is part of the game's fabric. For Trout, accepting such an offer would be a statement about his priorities at this stage of his career. It would suggest a willingness to embrace risk, to step away from comfort and into the brightest spotlight available. This tension between security and challenge is central to the rumor's appeal. Fans project their own values onto the decision, debating what they would do in his place. That emotional investment keeps the conversation alive and deeply personal. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Media coverage would reach a fever pitch if this rumor materialized, transforming routine analysis into round-the-clock discussion. Every swing, every defensive play, every interaction with teammates would be scrutinized for meaning. The narrative machine would never sleep, constantly searching for signs that the gamble was paying off or unraveling. For a YouTube audience, this would be a goldmine of content, with creators breaking down body language, sound bites, and subtle shifts in tone. The sport would feel alive with speculation again, reminding people why stars matter. Even if challenges emerged, they would only add texture to the story, creating arcs of adversity and resilience. The Yankees, no strangers to drama, would once again be at the center of the baseball universe. For Trout, this would be a chance to redefine his public image, moving from respected superstar to central character in the sport's most talked-about narrative. Ultimately, whether this remains a rumor or becomes reality, the idea of Mike Trout signing with the Yankees has already achieved legendary status in conversation alone. It has sparked debates about legacy, pressure, loyalty, and ambition that go far beyond one transaction. Fans are imagining futures, rewriting expectations, and engaging with the sport on a deeper level. That is the true power of a rumor like this. It reminds everyone that baseball is not just about outcomes, but about stories that captivate imagination. If this move ever happens, it will be remembered as a turning point. If it does not, it will still live on as one of those great what-if moments that fans revisit for years. Either way, the explosion has already occurred, echoing through the league and proving that even whispers can shake the foundations of the game. As this second part of the rumor reaches its natural pause, the narrative settles into anticipation rather than resolution. There is no confirmation, no closure, only a lingering sense that something bold could happen. The idea of Kyle Tucker wearing Yankees colors under a record-setting agreement remains suspended between fantasy and possibility. This unresolved state is what keeps the story alive, what ensures it will be revisited again and again. Whether it ultimately fades or explodes into reality, the speculation has already revealed much about desire, identity, and expectation. It shows how one name can ignite conversation and how one imagined move can carry symbolic weight far beyond the field. In the end, this second part of the story is about waiting, about living in that space where belief wrestles with doubt, and where the mere possibility of greatness is enough to keep the entire baseball world listening closely for the next whisper. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.